Frank Castle's a master control, man. I gotta say,
he's a good troll. I don't know what he's up to now.
Hassling folk, I bet. My guess, just wild guess, is that he's jumped on the pedophile hunter bandwagon because that seems big on YouTube. I'm almost tempted to do some pedophile hunting. Would you guys pedophile hunt together? We could do a pedophile hunt. That'd be a fun little like PKA versus child predators. That'd be fun. We could do a whole little phone scam.
He's easy to find right on YouTube.
Who?
The doc.
Oh,
couldn't say nothing.
We would throw a little hook, line, and sinker over into the dock pond. You know, we'd have a lot of lines out there. But sure, we'd make a whole like streamer girl like profile and be hitting up Doc like, oh, I'd love to see you at VidCon. It'd be so great for my career. I'd do anything. You know, for my 16th birthday, I really want to have 500 subs. You know, some stuff like that. You know,
he could make that happen.
Oh, I've never been in a Lambo before, you know, stuff like that. Throw a little that out there. I enjoy the pedophile hunting. I just worry that it's the Chris Hansen thing all over again, and we're setting up the mentally deficient and the foreign weirdos who don't understand consent.
Is that the take laws on Hansen now that he kind
of? That's 100% my take. Oh. You remember there was this one guy who was. You could tell he was weirdly not all there. He showed up twice in 2 days. Like they caught him and he came back the next day. And I think the second day, Hansen met him at like a McDonald's or something. And he's like, Bill, Chris again. What are you doing here? We just talked about all this. And the guy's like, I know. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like he's clearly a retarded man, you know, like he can dress himself and he lives on his own. That's the extent of it. You know what I mean? Like this guy's
right. He was a pedophilic retard who was there to molest a child.
See, that's easy to phrase, but they often have it be like a 16 or 17-year-old girl. And then the pictures they send are of adults who look a little bit young. And then the conversation is often like maybe a little flirty, but the person posing as the kid often is the one who's really like turning things a certain way, and always yes and it's always yes and, you know, it's never like, ooh, I don't have sex, I'm a child. It's always like giggle, never done that before, bet it hurt. And then like you know, just like playing into this fantasy that this guy has, and they would have probably just been sitting there jerking off to nothing if it weren't for this unicorn scenario where an attractive 15-year-old girl has invited them to her Home Alone mansion to bang. And that's what happens. Like, and we've all been in situations where we couldn't get a girl, I'm sure. And we've all been in situations where we've had plenty of girls. And but we've never been in that situation where you've lived your whole life without ever getting the girl. Right. And like to that guy, to suddenly find his unicorn, and he's stupid, so he believes in unicorns. You got to keep that in mind too. So this stupid guy found a unicorn, and he doesn't have the wherewithal to say, whoa, I'm 27 and bald, and I weigh 280, and I'm covered with cystic acne. Why is she into me again? Like that doesn't come to him. He's just like, my unicorn, thank goodness. It's perfect, my perfect little virginal princess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could just go after adults.
They're not going after anybody. They're gross dudes at home on the internet looking for a girl.
Yeah, that is what they are. You're right.
I'm not saying they're not without blame. I'm just saying that a lot of the Chris Hansen people that got caught up were either mentally deficient.
What do you do with those people? Like
with retarded people who are getting baited into coming somewhere.
The bait that makes me wonder. They don't show you the whole conversations. They read you like the most incriminating snippet, and I wonder if, like Kyle's saying, if they really went out of their way to like build this up, make him think this was real, and she's the one driving this car, and he's almost a passenger along from the ride, and then he shows up, and they're like, "Aha, you pedo!" And it's like,
Some of them were. Some of them, like there was that one guy who was some kind of a small town politician or some such, maybe a prosecutor, a mayor, something like that. He offed himself when they showed up to like get him, you know, after the fact, after the charges were like going through.
What percentage do you think were like retarded?
Most of them. I would say the majority of them were
like actually retarded, not like, oh, this guy's a dum-dum.
Oh, I don't. So a good solid percentage of them seemed.
I trust you because I have not watched much of that show.
Look, and retarded's like it doesn't mean anything anymore, but just weird, super socially awkward, like no emotional quotient there is a big part of it too. Like this very odd on the spectrum sometimes, and just maybe there's not even a word for it. Just like this guy, I don't think this guy's a mastermind at anything. You know, like this guy's been tricked into coming here for some bad stuff, and I don't think that he should be treated like a criminal mastermind. But I don't think that we should let him out on the street either. Yeah. So that's why we'll do a better job. We will only go after the mentally
Geniuses.
Competent pedophile. Yeah,
not even that. The high tier ones.
Oh, we'll make them take a test, maybe.
Yeah, or whatever we have to do. We're gonna find the sophisticated ones.
You'll play them in AOE, and anyone who beats you, we will then pose as a child and invite them to an AOE LAN session, bottomless land
session.
Yeah, it's
at a local preschool.
Yeah, it's a preteen bottomless LAN session of AOE, and we need you to officiate. And loser gets a spanking, and then we just send them up the river for beating you at AOE.
Who's gonna pretend to be the girl online?
Me. Oh, me.
You?
Sure. Yeah, okay. I got this. Yeah,
you got this. You're gonna be a little girl.
Don't ask questions. He's just really good.
Are we gonna bring weapons when we show up? Like a blackjack, like slapping our fists, like why I oughta.
Ooh, what would be your semi-legal weapon? Blackjack for you, Taylor? Is that it?
I don't know. I was picturing like the why I oughta, like the kind of look where you're slapping your hand, looking menacingly, but that's not that good of a weapon in the world of. Oh, you're gonna have a quarterstaff.
Maybe we bring the weapons of the Fellowship.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
We make this a Halloween.
Who are you gonna be, Taylor?
Gimli.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Gimli, and I'm gonna have an axe.
You want to be Legolas, Woody?
I don't know if I have the body for it.
I don't either. Like he's so thin. He's so
right. As much as I want to be him, I feel like you're the Aragon. Who's left? Oh, I'm gonna be the Gandalf.
You can be Gandalf is solid. Boromir would be a good pick.
Oh, okay. yeah.
I don't think any of us have the looks for Legolas if we're being real.
No,
because if I'm there, I'm gonna pull off the Gimli look.
That's what the child is dressed as. We'll bring an actual child. See, that's how we differ from the other pedophile hunters. We actually bring a child.
I figure we just ruin one kid real bad to save countless others.
You can take it, can't you, Tommy? Yeah,
we're a very Machiavellian group here.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of what was your name again, honey?
No, don't tell me. It'll make this harder.
All right, now get in there.
Hey, back in the cage. We'll get you when we need you. Yeah, I'd have a big axe. You have a sword. Would he be dressed like a wizard? I
genuinely enjoy doing the pedophile hunting thing if I didn't feel like there was all sorts of like sketchy liability stuff and it was so scary. I see those people doing it willy-nilly on the internet, on like Facebook Live and everywhere. There's a lot of people who do it now. And it's like, aren't you worried this dude's just going to shoot you when you show up? Like, because putting myself in the shoes of a pedophile who's going to meet a child, I'm thinking in my head, if I have shown up and I'm not retarded, I'm thinking in my head, this might be a setup, and if it is, I'm going to off myself right fucking here. We're not going to jail tonight. Like you have to go in, because that happened in that we saw that video where the cops come out of the hotel and the guy immediately pulls a gun out. He's pulling it up here, not like this. Like that guy was going to shoot himself. Now the cops did the job for him. They shot him so many times.
You don't get that opportunity very often.
No, you don't.
I bet cops think like that sometimes. I bet I mean, I'm sure everyone here is concealed carry, I think. But when you're new to concealed carry and you have a gun in your pocket, I mean, Jesus, isn't there 1% of you, 99% doesn't want any problems, is real. 1% thinks, if something went down, I'm a superhero right now.
You think you go into Dirty Harry mode when you slap on that iron?
Not
you just
in fantasy.
I'm gonna clean these streets up.
with my mouse gun. You don't want none of this 380.
Yeah, I guess so to some small extent. At least you know that, like, no matter what, you're not going to get stabbed to death on the street. Probably you can defend yourself, I suppose. But yeah, I think the weapons of the Fellowship would be intimidating and confusing. So it would diffuse any violence that he might be.
They would be baffled.
Yeah, because I'm thinking full costume. Once you, I'm not gonna bring a long sword and not rock a Aragorn beard.
Yeah, you'd look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Without the beard. Yeah. I'm obviously going to have a long white beard, a cloak, a staff, and a sword.
That's true. That's what Gandalf gets.
And the Lord of the Black Land come forth. Let justice be done upon him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'd have much success because I don't know if we know where to start.
Of course we know where to start. What are you talking about? That's easy.
AOL chat rooms.
AOL chat rooms. That's where all the kids are.
That's what Chris Hansen did.
That's where the kids
the groundwork is laid.
I guess honestly, we're like weeks into it. We can't get a response.
I'll tell you right where I would go.
You do it so what? Like you get arrested for sharing what's trying to get someone. We just wanted it so much that we weren't able to do it, and so we had to turn a little bad to become good. We're sort of anti-heroes as we're being led off to jail.
I think you'd want to go to like the teenagers subreddit and start casting your line out there. You know, like
wait, no, that's gonna get kids.
No.
The teenagers subreddit.
That's where the kids are, so that's where the pedophiles.
That's where the pedophiles are going to go.
Yeah,
you are.
We would have
ahead. Yes,
we would have to deal with probably messaging some actual teenagers before we found.
No. We post as a teenager who's got questions and confusions,
daddy issues.
We need.
Is there a lot
lead
of
off with that? That's a red flag. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I don't know."
Is that what they're posting on teenagers?
I don't. I have blocked all of the subreddits I don't like, and I still get recommended shit from. And it's like kids talking about their sex lives on there. Sometimes that'll be their post, and it's
that's like, a pedophile trying to open that line of discussion with
out there.
Young people. Yeah.
It might be, but
so if any children are talking about their sex lives, that's the one to go to.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's the pedo, right? If those are the pedos, then those are the people who need your attention.
It seems like a seedy, depressing world, and I don't want to be around it. Like it's just
a dangerous game.
Dude, it would be so fun. Because here's what you do: like 90% of it would be gross, boring, and upsetting a little bit, and you probably have to see and hear some things you didn't like. But then eventually, the moment comes where we spring the trap, and your heart would be racing that you're about to fucking like. Ha ha! Like you're gonna pull the mask off him like Scooby Doo. You know what I mean? Ooh, we dress up like I kind of like that better than Lord of the Rings. We dressed up like Scooby Doo characters.
Oh wow!
I call Daphne.
No, you couldn't pull that off.
You're Fred. Just admit it. There's
how am I
all right,
not
I guess.
Shaggy?
I'll be Shaggy and Taylor will be Scooby.
No, I'm Shaggy.
All right.
Yeah, I want to be Scooby.
Oh no, Scoob! We gotta get out of here. That pedophile killed Woody.
Shaggy. Okay.
I open a closet and I see someone being molested, and I turn around and do that like feet in the air spin run.
Scoob, I don't know about this one. Do you see how that pedophile killed Woody immediately when we opened the door?
Zoink, Scoob! These guys aren't playing around. Maggie, there's a whole island of these people.
Yeah, that would be no good. I do enjoy the videos. I like seeing that. It's the same reason I like seeing like the final pitches of a World Series or the last round of a UFC fight. Big changes, like consequences, like lives are over. You know, when that guy gets caught, I'm glad that they caught a pedophile. I'm glad he's off the street. But a little bit of me is like, dude, it's all over. It's all over. What must he be feeling right now? Like he's thinking about all the things he's losing, but he's thinking about the things he's lost, and those things don't even know it yet. Like he's thinking about the wife he just lost, who's at home and doesn't even know. He's thinking about the church he can never go back to, the job that will fire him, the future post incarceration that will be filled with registering, admitting what you did before, having that stain on you, that mark on you forever. You might as well have it branded on your cheek when you're a sexual offender. It would be horrific, you know? So I kind of feel for him a little bit. It's just like, that's such an awful thing to happen to somebody. Then again, it's pedophile. Worst person you can imagine.
That's true. They don't inspire sympathy in most instances. Really, all instances. If they're like, because like the Chris Hansen guys, like they weren't being like creepy online. Like they like made plans to meet up with like a 13-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, but again,
it's just a giant step up.
But hear me out. It's that scenario that's been created for them where it's perfect.
I get it, yeah.
You know, like they would never be acting on this otherwise because there would be nothing to act upon. But now you're saying to them, hey, all you got to do is show up at this address and it's safe and I'm willing and it's here and I'm not just a 15-year-old, I'm a hot 15-year-old and like my parents are away in France and like this, that, and the other. And oh, you want to watch my cat eat my pussy? Sure. Yes, I will do that for you. Like that was a request that one of the guys had made. He wanted her cat, yeah, pussy to eat her pussy. He wanted and Chris Hansen throws that in his face, which is, you wanted her to eat her bloop and the bloop, and I'm like, what did he say? Oh, that guy wanted a cat to eat the little girl's pussy, and he wanted to watch and do other weird shit.
That guy seems pretty sinister.
It feels
fucking sinister
as far as evil goes.
They do that on purpose. Because they want to show intent and like really like bring a lot of evidence to court. So that's why they'll tell them to bring like a 6-pack of beer and some condoms and lube. Each of those things they're bringing is not only proving that they are the guy that was in the chats, you know, because they might say, I just stumbled in here off the street. Where am I? You know, but if they showed up with the Bartles and James,
knock.
I was just wandering the streets with a 6-pack of Bartles and James and some condoms. You know, sometimes they'll bring weapons and stuff. One guy brought his own kid. One guy was like watching his kid and couldn't get rid of his kid, so he brings his kid into the pedophile house. And Chris Hansen comes out and he goes, "Yo, get out of here with that kid. What are you doing?" It's like, I'm not going to traumatize him right now, but you've got to go. And the guy was like, 10-4, and like turns around and leaves with the kid.
Did this go on the show?
Yeah.
So he did kind of traumatize the kid. He just did it on delay.
Well, he didn't do that thing where the camera crews come out of every room and like, I'm Chris Hansen, and we're doing an investigation on child predators, and your life is ruined. Son, did you know that your child was here?
But you saw the guy, right? Like word gets around.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Oh, it wasn't one of the. Well, they didn't want to do it to the kid right there. They don't want to traumatize the child.
That's what I'm saying. They did it on delay.
That's a different kind of trauma when your mom is like, your daddy's not gonna be home for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And then 10 years later you learn why, versus pedophile attack and the cops are dragging daddy down and you're going to child services until we can determine this and that, and the cameras in your face and they're reading a transcript that you only halfway understand. Like, that's trauma. Like the whole thing's fucked. That's why I think we need to step in. I think we could fill a void here.
We could do it better.
Does anybody ever not get it? Like they're like, we're doing a show on human trafficking and abuse, and you know, have a seat over here. And is there ever anyone who's just like, the fuck? She said her parents weren't home. Trixie, where are you? Like,
that's actually a Key and Peele bit where like,
oh, really?
He's like, I'm Chris Hansen. He's like, cool, nice to meet you, Holmes. He's like, actually, I'm here, and then the cameras come out, and that's when normally everybody like freaks out because there's 3 TV broadcast cameras. Those giant shoulder packs come out. This guy goes, "Oh shit, you freaky! We're gonna record this shit. Hell yeah, let's get it on together. Me and you." And he's like, "Do you know how young this girl was? She said she was 14." Yeah, like, he's just pumped for the whole experience.
Doesn't get it.
Nobody ever was like that, but there were some guys who didn't know. They often don't know the gravity because they'll be like, "I'm guessing you're her dad." He's like, "How do you know Becky?" It's like, "From the internet." "And I'm guessing you're her dad." It's like, "Bro, you wish." Bro, you wish it was just an angry father
What's
giving you the
best
talking.
excuse you've ever heard on that show?
I was coming here to tell her how dangerous this is and let her know she can't be doing this sort of thing. That's what I'm here for. I'm a father myself. And I wanted to come here and warn her of what could go wrong. And the condoms. So you brought those for why? Well, I thought maybe she'd shit.
That would be even like, I feel like that one would be easier to explain. We'd be like, oh, those? I've always got those in my truck.
And the pistol and the lubricant and the camera and the duct tape. That was the one guy. He brought like
I'm a bit of a miscreant. You never claimed to be
RSK kit. Yeah, he had an RSK kit. The one guy, and then some guys will have guns and stuff on them. I don't know. I just feel bad because I know that there are retarded people getting caught up in their sting. It's just like when you bring a net across the ocean and there's some dolphins mixed in there. And it's like, come on, dolphin. We don't want the dolphin, right? You throw him back in. Nah, that dolphin's getting 3 to 5. Oh,
probably longer than 3 to 5.
They don't get. It's not as bad as you think. Because they don't actually commit the crime.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
They have created these digital crimes now where they'll have like 8 different fucking charges, and all they did was send a dick pic. You know what I mean? To a minor, granted, but like there's these classifications for all sorts of online sexual crime with a minor, just like talking to them, using the computer to do it is its own crime, separate from it just talking to the minor itself. There's some sort of maybe wire something. There's a bunch of crimes they've created just to go after those people. But especially early on, they almost all kind of skated, or at least what you would consider skated for what they were up to. Like months of jail, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that does make sense. Like they didn't commit the crime yet.
Yeah, sending nukes
to crime too.
Yeah, I don't know how much the sentencing on attempted murder differs from like actual murder.
Neither do I. It's
have to imagine.
And it's hard to prove.
Yeah,
I mean, in a lot of cases.